Well, Regal Lance, I gotta confess, I'm really excited about how that base raid went. Oligoplmart, on the other hand, not so much.
Were we expecting them to be excited?
No, Sydney, that would be kinda ridiculous. Anyway, we've got some Oligoplmart patrols trying to cut us off as we head south. They don't really know where we're going, they're just looking for us, so Ray and Sydney, I need you two to clear a path. Well, we hope they don't know where we're going, senors. Yeah, hope, that's what we're all about. Hope for the people, hope we don't die.
Well, I'm feeling really hopeful, Jordan. But hey, how come it's just me and Sydney on this mission? We ought to get Peyton in here. She could be really useful.
See, that's the catch. She could be useful, and she is being useful. We don't want Oligoplmart to hone in on us just by following a trail of destruction that we leave behind. So I've got Peyton in a light recon mech attacking a bunch of targets along the way. What we're trying to do is make it hard to figure out which way we're headed, so they can't marshal forces in front of us. Not that we really know where we're going either, senor. We know the destination, but not the journey. When I told Peyton that the mission was to cause destruction and confusion, she was all over it. Ideally, what they'll try to do is pull forces to defend everywhere that we go to, and if they do that, they'll be defending nothing.
Oh, I get it. Like a divide and conquer sort of thing.
Kind of, except the difference is that we're not attacking them piecewise at all, so we're not conquering the divisions. We're just getting them to spread themselves thin. That way every engagement feels a lot smaller, and like ones that we can win. But anyway, hey, if you guys are headed out to Nav Alpha, there's 2 Cougars out there. Just take them down. I'm headed out to Nav Bravo. Alright, weapons free, Regal Lance, engage at Alpha.
Roger, will do. Hey, Sydney, I was just wondering, you and Peyton shared a bed, right? Is there, like, stuff going on between you guys?
Ray, now's not really a good time. Just try to stay focused on the mission, please.
I don't really want to talk about it anyway. I'm worried I might say something that Peyton wouldn't agree with.
Well, if you guys are an item and you disagree...
Regal Lance, it is not a good time. Please focus on the enemy in front of you.
Okay, Roger. They're just a couple of light mechs. We'll be done in like 5 minutes.
Actually, senors, I got a squad of 3 Osiris's at Nav Bravo. I'm picking up some other hits, but don't know what they are. I'll get back to you. Ray, I'm glad that you're feeling confident out there, and like you can assess threat levels, but that's not a good mentality to have. It's not gonna be the stuff you're familiar with that gets you, it's gonna be stuff you haven't seen before, and for all you know, one of those guys could be packing an artillery beacon.
Okay, Roger.
Don't let me get you down. Just make sure that you're confident, but not overconfident, alright? I can't really think of any reason these guys would have artillery beacons, senor. There's nothing for them to shell. Case refuted, point still stands. Not arguing with the point, senor. Just don't want anyone to be afraid of boogeymen. That's my job.
Okay, well we're almost done here at Nav Alpha. I'm showing hits on the radar at Nav Bravo.
Yeah, they're not too spaced out. I'm on my way to Nav Delta.
Guys, speaking of, I'm having a really hard time with my nav computer.
What's it doing, Regal 2?
Every time I switch nav points, it goes right back to Nav Alpha. Also, it keeps showing all the coordinates as 0, 0.
Man, I knew this was gonna happen. That machine you're in is a bushwhacker, senor. It's a middle heavyweight robot, but it kinda wants to be a sports car. It's got sort of a low profile, which in theory is supposed to make it harder for people to hit you at extreme range, but in practice you're a giant robot. The trouble is, that minimalistic approach to design makes your engine kinda unstable. It's not very well protected. Over the years, it's had a lot of design updates, so the one you're in is gonna be superior to how they used to be, but I doubt they'll ever totally fix a broken design. It's also not really specialized to do any particular thing. It's got a multi-role philosophy, so you could say good or bad things about that. The problem you're dealing with, however, is that that machine only runs on proprietary software, so you have to wait for the people who own it to really fix it unless you want to crack the system and use third-party support. It's also kind of expensive to maintain. I personally just wanted to sell the thing. Well, beggars can't be choosers, and it was the heaviest thing we could find at that base. Are the combat systems working at least?
I guess, but I suck at that, so I can't really tell the difference.
Well, great, Sydney. That's a really straight answer and gives us a lot to work with.
Sorry.
It's not a big deal, senor. We'll run a diagnostic on that thing when she comes back.
So we're just about done at Nav Bravo. Pretty painless so far, got a couple dings, but I'm doing okay. Anything at Nav Delta?
1 Cougar, 1 Osiris.
Seems like an awful lot of recon guys.
I don't think it's a recon unit, senor. I'm getting 2 more hits at Nav Golf. I'm gonna go check it out. But they didn't show up till I got close, so I think there's something stealthy. Well, that doesn't sound good. He's probably a harassment unit, senor. They got a bunch of little guys to blink at you, then they run off. Then the stealthy guys get on your flanks and finish you off from long range. So what are you saying? Are we walking into a trap? I'm gonna say no, because it doesn't really seem like they've organized for that kind of tactic.
So what should I do? Just keep going?
Proceed to Nav Delta as planned, then just hang out and wait for Tito to get an ID on whatever's at Golf. Hang on, senor. I'm coming up on him. Looks like 2 vultures. Decent at range, but kind of flimsy on the armor. Are you showing any other targets? No, I'm not showing anything else. Okay, Regal Lance engage targets at Delta and Golf, then return for extraction.
Roger. So hey Jordan, how do we do in terms of money and everything after that raid?
We did okay. Paid everyone their paychecks, including back pay. Of course, we didn't have as much left over as I thought we would, but that's always how it goes.
So what's the plan for what we do have?
Well, we didn't have enough, so my plan's kinda gone bust, but here's what we're going for. Ideally, what I want to do with that kind of money is hire some private military contractors and get some other people in here to help us out. With more manpower, we might be able to make a raid on a production facility. If we run off with all that equipment, set up another base somewhere, keep it hidden, we might be able to get on our feet and actually producing stuff.
So set up another base, huh? We keep abandoning our bases, though.
Yeah, but that's often because we're the obvious target. Oligoplmart just has to zero in on us and take us down. I think, though, if we stir up some trouble that they can't deal with, we might get away with something.
Like what kind of thing?
2 steps. Planet Riley wants to help us out, so they're willing to send special forces to stir up trouble in large population centers. Things like spreading propaganda, arming people who want to be armed, just putting pressure on Oligoplmart there.
Jordan, that sounds kinda dangerous. It sounds like Planet Riley doesn't want to help us stabilize control, they just want to destabilize Oligoplmart.
Well, that's why we have the second step, and that, believe it or not, is to give money to Oligoplmart.
Jordan, I'll be honest, there's nothing good about this plan.
No, listen. Oligoplmart is ruined by bureaucracy. Everything they do is highly political, so what we have to do is throw support behind opposing factions. If we can get them to start infighting for political control, we might also be able to get them to start playing musical chairs with their military leaders.
Alright, I can see how this is gonna work deconstructively, but what about the constructive aspects? Also, how are we gonna give money to their political leaders if we're a rogue military organization?
The second part is easy. Oligoplmart's whole system is corrupt, so all donations are taken secretly. As for the first part, I'm still kind of figuring that out.
Wait, what do you mean donations are secret? You mean that their politicians can take money from, like, opposing nations or terrorist groups?
Well, it's illegal, but there's no transparency, so yes, they can.
We're closing in on these 2 vultures. They're bright red, does that mean anything?
Si, senor. Community Service Unit. That means that they're convicted criminals.
I'm taking a lot of direct fire.
Convicted criminals? You mean like murderers or something?
No, senor. Most likely tax criminals. If you get slapped with a court fee and you don't pay on time, or if you don't pay your taxes, they arrest you and then you belong to Oligoplmart. You work for the company until you pay off your debts. Of course they pay you, so they say it's not slavery, and then they charge you taxes on your pay. So basically, these guys are in it for life.
They're ganging up on me. I'm taking all the fire.
Hang in there, Sydney. We'll do the same thing to them. Just stay focused on that guy in front of you.
My computer doesn't show who you're targeting.
Same when you're fighting. Target down, 1 to go.
I've got warning signals. Check engine. I don't know what that means.
Sydney is down. Target 2 is down.
I'm okay.
God damn it, Sydney.
Sorry. I'm really sorry.
We should have sold that thing, senor. We should have sold it. Okay, Ray, change of plans. Just hang around the area. We're gonna get salvage and medical teams on the scene.
Okay, roger. But Jordan, we gotta seriously talk about our plans here.
You're the queen, Ray, but we don't want to get so humanitarian that we can't fight the enemy.
Well, we could explode the planet and end the war that way, but let's just look at our options and figure out something from there.
That was an awfully bitchy way of putting it, but okay, we'll talk about it. See you guys in a few minutes.